welcome again to the Buse and Bees podcast. I'm Buse, otherwise known as Bucephalus. Over there.
I'm Bees.
There we go. And today we have what hopefully will be a fun night for you. We are going to do a light bit of role-playing using the superhero D6 system that Bees had come up with previously. I've created a character, which I will edit to put some stuff on the screen a little bit later. But I guess right now we can kind of get started. Bees, I'm going to hand it over to you, and let's go from here.
All right. So I have some questions for you before we get started.
Certainly.
Do you want to set this in like the Marvel universe or a unique universe?
I have no preference whatsoever, but if I flip the invisible coin...
You have dice, though, don't you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I need to go grab those. I'm bad at this, everybody. I am so sorry. I am really bad.
You sure we haven't done before?
Yeah. I mean, I do have a dice somewhere around here, but my bag... I actually don't know where even my wife's dice bag is for some reason. I'll figure it out. But the invisible coin said unique.
So what?
Unique. Unique world.
Alright.
Now, I've got at least one dice. It'll just take me a little longer than normal. And if all else fails, I can use it.
You can pause the recording and go get dice if you want.
Yeah, if only I could pause as opposed to stop, but yes. Alright, 1 second. We'll be right back after these messages. Okay, everybody, we're back. I now have
and you're
dice.
Back with dice. And not pushing the button.
Yes. I am back with dice, and I am not pushing a button.
Alright. Looking over your character sheet, if you wanted French again, you could just reduce auto repair to 1D plus 1, 3D plus 1.
French might be good.
It's up to you. So for you at home, I'm actually watching him manipulate a shared document. Pretty fun to do.
And done.
All right. So, last question before we get started.
Okay.
Do you have any contacts that you want to tell me about, or am I just going to make them up for you?
I have no friends.
No, you have friends. Everybody has friends. Friends, family.
You can make them up for me.
All right. That's dangerous.
Well, I set this guy up as a loner, so...
Kind of, yeah. But even loners have brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers.
People who care about them, who would do stuff for them even if they don't know. I get it.
Yeah, well, you wanted to play a Burn Notice style game, but with superheroes.
That is true.
Yeah. Alright, so, for the people at home, our friend Char, it's Char, right?
Yes.
So, Buse is going to be playing Char Pryerson.
Pryerson.
What?
Pryerson. P-Y-R. The Y comes before the R.
There's 2 R's that I'm looking at.
Funny enough, I can't read. Go ahead.
So it's Pryerson?
We'll go with Pryerson because it's there, and I don't really need to adjust it. It wasn't that important. I was just ribbing on you.
It's up to you. Your character.
Yeah, I'm fine
You
with
can call him Smelly McStupid Pants if you want. I don't really care.
I'll go with Char Pryerson.
Char Pryerson. All right. So for you at home, Char Pryerson was an employee at a local bank. Did he go to college?
I'm going to say yes.
All right. He's got a bachelor's degree in something or other, and he worked at the bank. He was technically the head of security, but he helped out in IT. Oh, I could just read it, but he was a jack of all trades in the office. He would help out with IT, sometimes lent to maintenance, sometimes he ran the office when no one else was there. But technically, he was in charge of security. He was arrested by 2 sheriff's deputies for stealing $1.5 million through the use of a worm virus, which I find particularly ironic. No, I don't. I was going to say because you didn't put anything into computer programming, but you did. But as the head of security, you didn't put any skills into security itself. I like that.
Investigation. Maybe not security, but security is, for the game, security is like opening locks, and yes, finding some stuff, but security is generally used as a lock-picking skill in most cases. So I went with investigation instead. Investigation and command made sense for me.
I'm with you. So, using a worm virus, which is a Superman 2 virus, Superman 3 virus.
Or hackers.
This one actually is the Superman 3 virus.
And hackers.
Hackers did the same thing?
Yeah, the Angelina Jolie movie and the guy from Elementary. Yep.
Okay. So over the course of a few years, he stole a few cents from every other transaction in the bank, which would eventually accumulate to a great deal of money, in this case $1.5 million. And the evidence against him was overwhelming. His public defender advised him to plead guilty, and the judge decided to throw a book at him. All right. While being transferred to prison, the bus was attacked in an escape attempt for another prisoner. Char decided to escape as well. While on the run, he decided to prove his innocence. After weeks of playing, he broke into the bank headquarters and copied the file they had on his crime. A month later, he broke into his former branch and copied all files evidencing his crime. Reviewing the information, he was able to track it down to either the bank manager, the head of IT, and the guy who really headed security. You weren't the real head of security?
No, I was more of just a figurehead. Hence why I said, on paper, I had the security department.
All right. So he approached the manager first, and he swore he was aghast. I like that. He swore he was innocent and pledged to help Char. He set up a meeting with the other 2 suspects where Char could listen in hidden. Unfortunately, it was a trap. Char was sedated, stabbed, tied up, and dumped in a swamp. It should have killed him, whether it was something special about the swamp, some chemical in the swamp, or something inside of him that just broke. A burst of power came over him, and he turned into a puddle of goo. 3 weeks later, a figure came from the water of the swamp. Slowly, it formed into a man. Char was reborn. He vowed then to use these abilities to bring those who framed him down and to help anyone who needed him, and if need be, break the law a little for justice to be served. We've got Hugh's stats here, and just so you, the audience, knows, he chose the powers change shape, which is not being able to turn into somebody else's, to take on, like, turn into a chair or a duck, something that is roughly the same mass that Char himself is. He chose the power grow shrink, which now negates that whole same mass thing I was talking about, but while doing that, he would need to roll 2 powers. And he chose the ability plastic body, think Mr. Fantastic or Elastic Man or Plastic Man or Stretch Armstrong. He can stretch out super long. Keeps the same mass though, unless he uses his grow power at the same time. So he's a shapeshifter. All right. Are you ready to start the adventure?
I am.
Okay. You have been... I want to get this just right. You have been sedated, stabbed, tied up, and dumped in a swamp. It's 3 weeks later, and you're literally walking out of the swamp. Would you like me to choose a city for us to...
Oh, wow, you're starting it directly after.
Why do you think I asked you about contacts?
Good point. Uh... Yeah... Let's go with Wichita.
Wichita, Kansas. How about Miami? I know a little bit about Miami. I know nothing about Wichita.
Neither do I.
And I know Wichita as a...
Yeah, I agree. Miami, we know there's swamps around there, or at least according to CSI Miami.
Everglades, baby. They're some of the most famous swamps in the world after the Congo. They could have dumped you in the Congo.
Or Louisiana.
The bayou.
But we'll go with Miami.
So, before his powers, Char was a bit of a linguist, proficient in 4 languages, 5 languages, including English. He was a bit of a computer guy, a professional level computer guy. A little bit of auto repair, probably as a hobby. I'm not sure what machine operation refers to.
I figured he did some of the janitorial work, so therefore operating things like buffers and like floor buffers, things like that. Figured it should be high rolls.
That works. And then in his, as a security guy, he has skills in sneak, which is exactly what it sounds like, investigation, and command. And also, I guess he has the climbing wall at his gym because he's a professional climber and jumper. So he's buff. There you go. You're coming out of the swamp. You know what happened to you. You've been aware for 3 weeks and you haven't had anyone to talk to. You haven't been able to do anything as your powers have slowly allowed you to turn yourself back into yourself. And you've gotten a very low-level control over them. You're naked. Your stabbed clothes with the bleeding on them are nearby if you want to look for them.
Maybe the pants.
All right, give me a perception roll.
Okie dokie. So, we discussed it a little bit beforehand, but just as a kind of reminder, game-wise, when it comes to the D6, when you roll your dice, and as I hope to put on the screen, you'll see my perception is 4D. One of those D is what we call a wild die. If it rolls a 6, you get to add that 6 and take that 6 and add it to whatever you roll again after you re-roll that. If it rolls a 1, depending upon what the GM has you do, it's considered a botch, or might just have to subtract some stuff. So I will be rolling 4 dice. I won't go over this every time, but just as a brief reminder for what we talked about last week. $11.
I don't have my sheet in front of me with what is that, moderate roll, low moderate?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe 10 to 12.
See if I can find that. Anyway. All right, so you find your shoes. It takes you about 15 minutes to half an hour. And you're walking up and down, you're walking around the swamp now that you've finally coalesced. And you find your shoes, 1 sock, the pants, and the rug they wrapped you up in. Or did you say it was a rug? Oh, the ropes that they wrapped you up with. All gag, but your shirt is nowhere to be found, or your underwear.
That's fine. I guess I'm now becoming a commando.
That was awful.
Thank you. I'm here all night. All right. Well, I am going to take slip on the pants, leave the sock, slip on the shoes. Rope-wise, about how much rope is it?
$15 feet. Nylon, about a half-inch thick. They really tied you up after they stabbed you.
Okay, I want to attempt something.
Okay.
I'd like to cut off about roughly 2.5 feet of that rope.
All right.
By trying to reform my hand into like a knife or wedge of some type. I feel like with plastic body it should somewhat be possible.
It's very possible. Question is, can you do it?
I don't know. How many character points do I start off with?
10.
Good to know. Alright, rolling plastic body.
Okay.
Can you take double time with... Actually, can you take double time with power? I don't even know how it works. I mean, eventually I'm going to keep trying until I get it. So.
Certain combat, yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
5.
Is that with double time?
Yeah, I'm not really in a rush at the moment.
With a 5, your hand has turned into a wedge, but it's not particularly sharp. And are you trying to get it sharp on the pinky side or on the thumb side?
Pinky side, because that would be the first thing I would think of.
Okay. So it's kind of wedge-shaped. It's flattened.
Okay. Then I want to do...
You can do it again and do it better.
Oh, I've got a plan.
Okay.
I would like to take my other hand and, using plastic body, I figure shift more of my mass into my other hand and make a hammer.
Okay. Can be a roll.
4.
You're starting to succeed. Are you any specific kind of hammer or just a big cylinder?
I'm thinking something more like this, but decent size.
All right. So this is just using plastic body, right?
Yeah, just using plastic body at this point.
All right. So you formed a small hammer that's kind of rounded on both ends.
Close enough.
If you wanted a bigger hammer, I could shorten your arm for you.
Understood. All right. So I am going to put my knife hand on top of the rope. I'm assuming I should be able to find a semi-hard surface, like a rock or something. And
okay.
Then my other hand is going to come down as a hammer on top of the other one. And yes, I realize this might be a bad idea, but... And I'm going to slam it down to try to cut the rope.
Okay. Roll for damage and then roll to resist damage.
Okie dokie.
So damage would just be your strength.
Yep, and that is 10 even.
Nice. And then roll to resist damage.
Which includes my plastic body.
Yep.
Which, what does that add to my...
3D.
Okay. Yep. I'm sorry, I should probably let you all hear the rolling. $21 to resist damaging myself.
Alright, so since 21 is larger than 10, you're fine.
Yep.
Succeeded in your attempt. You've cut the rope.
Excellent. I'm going to use that portion of the rope as a belt to tie around my pants.
You might want to return your hands to normal.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Got 9 on my plastic body roll.
Alright, your hands are perfectly normal.
Okie dokie. Tie it up. I'll just coil the rest of the rope up enough and just kind of put it as a sash across my bare chest.
Alright.
And I think I'm going to be starting a long walk back towards the city.
Alright.
Or closest town. Do I have any idea where I am outside of random swamp in the Everglades area?
Give me a navigation roll, which would be under knowledge.
Okie dokie. Glad my guy's not dumb.
Yeah, knowledge is not a dump stat in my games. In fact, I'd probably move investigation under knowledge.
Okay, just on the wild die, I got 15. A total of 22.
22. That is
I believe that's
high difficult, right?
Yes, it's not very difficult, it is difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, you know where you are. You're about 15 miles outside of town, all said and done. And you notice that it's starting to become night. So, given the time of year, let's say it's early spring, so around the beginning of June, end of May. Probably about 7 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night. It's still, the sun's out, but it's to the west, and you're starting to see the beginnings of a sunset, or you know you're about to see the beginning of the sunset because it's low in the sky. And you know how to walk back to Miami.
Do I know how to... I know what I'd look like. And I'm a wanted man.
Why are you a wanted man? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't report that they killed me.
You also have been missing for about 3 weeks.
True. But I'm probably still wanted. They might just... They don't know if I've left the state or whatever, but I am an escaped fugitive.
Okay, just so you know, bear this in mind. You have never heard of anyone having superpowers before. This is brand new to you.
Oh, in that case, I'm freaking out a tiny bit.
No, you're not. You've had 3 weeks to deal with this.
Yeah, that's true.
Your freaking out happened when you turned into a puddle.
True. I'm willing to bet I'm kind of hungry. I think I'm probably just been absorbing swamp water and whatever for the past few weeks.
You've subsisted on whatever knowledge you had of fruit and vegetables and root vegetables and animals in the area.
Yeah, let me rephrase that.
Part of how you learned how to control your powers as well, as poor as it is.
Yeah, let me rephrase it. I probably want real food, but I have no money.
Why would you have no money?
Oh.
Do you have no money?
Considering the fact that, well, I mean, I would have been... We probably should have discussed this beforehand.
Okay.
What would I start with? I mean, I'm assuming I probably had to...
You started with a pair of pants.
Is there anything in the pants?
Yeah. What do you normally keep in your pants?
Well, my wallet, but since I don't have that anymore...
Yeah, why wouldn't you have a wallet?
Because I escaped from a prison bus?
Oh, yeah. You did. And then what did you do?
Well, I'm assuming I probably stole stuff to kind of get by a little bit. Whether it be food or occasional...
You went and got all your files back.
I don't know if my character would have robbed the bank at all. Or burglarized it.
This isn't your thing, okay?
Yeah, I know. We didn't talk about this ahead of time. I didn't think about it.
So you transferred to the prison, you escaped, and then you went and you had to steal probably some stuff to probably have a USB drive, I was thinking.
Yeah.
Now that they took. You don't have that anymore.
Makes
You
sense.
got maybe $50 in cash,
Okay.
probably less. Let's say 30. A 20 and a 10. You have keys to a vehicle that you stole, or maybe the manager lent you because he was aghast and swore you were innocent. So did you steal? It's your character. Would you steal a vehicle?
No.
Okay. So you have keys to a vehicle that either the manager lent you or one of your friends and or family lent you after you escaped from prison. Who helped you after you escaped from prison?
I wrote it as no one up until the manager.
Yeah. So does your brother live in town? Your cousin? A friend of yours from high school is a really good friend?
Not really. I'll say I probably have a...
You have friends, Tim. You have friends, Char.
Fine.
If you don't want them, if you don't come up with something, I'm coming up with something for you.
Come up with something for me.
Your cousin Bob,
Okay, my cousin Bob.
who's a former... oh, nice. I'm taking control of the cursor. Cousin Bob, former Special Forces, currently... let's give him a nice Miami job. Sells speedboats.
Thought you were going to make him a lifeguard.
No, not anymore. So he's about 5 years older than you. Married to, give me a female name, not English. Kim, who is that a nice, what's a nice Japanese or Chinese name? Lee? I don't know.
Yeah, Lee or Han.
Okay. Married to Lee, is Chinese,
Oh, female names.
American, what?
Nothing. Keep going.
Chinese American wife, who, that should be capitalized, who you introduced him to because you dated her in college, twice in college, and it didn't
Work out.
and both know. And she dumped you.
Seems appropriate for this character.
You remained friends. After a period of not seeing each other, a few months, each other. You have a niece and a nephew, two nephews or two nieces?
One each.
They have two kids. One nephew, one niece. I'll let you name them later. Both not teenagers yet. You grew up with Bob. He's like your older brother. Bob believes in you. You were trained and has been helping you out. You have the keys to Bob's motorcycle.
Okay.
Junkie. Let's call it junkie / fixer upper unregistered motorcycle. How's that?
Sounds perfect.
And that doesn't need to be capitalized. All right. Being not yet teenagers. Oh, I have some ideas. Could have named her Chun-Li. But Chun's a first name. He gave them traditional Chinese names. All right. Good call. So you have Bob's motorcycle key.
Okay.
You got $30. You don't have any ID. And you're in a swamp.
All right. Well, I am actually going to start heading back towards the city. I'm going to aim towards the beach, however.
Smart move. It's going to pretty much double your time. You're about 15 miles out.
Got nowhere else to go.
Fair enough. Are you walking along the roads? You rolled a great navigation roll. You don't need to take the roads. You can walk through the swamp or the woods.
I am going to walk through the woods, but do my best to stay as close to the road as possible, for the most part, without being seen, so that every once in a while I'll run across. I'll run across the road so that I know that I'm not going too far off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, give me a roll, just a random luck roll. If you get a 2 or a 1, somebody sees you.
Okay.
You got a 1?
Yes.
Give me another luck roll. Let me know what it is.
5.
5. All right. This is Miami. Let's make it something fun. A yellow Lamborghini convertible zooms past you. And this is one of those moments when you're walking towards the road to make sure you're still on track. And what do? He's just zooming down the road. What do you do?
I'm going to kind of just angle myself to kind of be behind some trees, bushes, whatever the terrain kind of looks like at the moment, to just do my best to not be seen, but do it as casual as possible.
All right. So, go ahead.
Nothing. Just going to keep my distance, but not look like I'm keeping my distance.
All right, Han Solo. So, the Lamborghini comes to a screeching halt. You see the brake light, you see the brake lights flash on real bright, and then you see the reverse lights come on, and the vehicle is backing up almost not as fast, but at an incredible rate, and stops right where you're at. Hey, man, are you okay?
I've had better weeks.
Yeah, you look it. You're covered in dirt and the dark, and you need a ride or something, man?
I know I smell like swamp water. I wouldn't want to I mean, this is a sweet ride. I wouldn't want to, mess it up at all, but
Don't worry about it, man. It's not my car.
fair enough.
It's a rental.
Fair enough. I appreciate you heading back to the city.
I'm going towards Miami. I'll drop you off wherever you want to go, but along the way. And what the hell happened to you anyway? I assume you're getting into the car?
Yes, I'll hop into the car.
All right, so you hop into the car and he's like, what happened to you anyway, man? You look like crap. He takes off driving way too fast. Oh, I should probably roll that.
3 words, my friend.
You got lucky, by the way.
Excellent. 3 words, my friend.
Yeah?
Girlfriends and brothers.
I hear that, man. I hear that. As he's driving, every time he looks at you to talk to you, he starts to swerve off the road. But he starts correcting. So girlfriends and brothers, man. I know about women problems. I know all about women problems, man. So, where do you want to get dropped off? Like, I don't know what kind of woman problem leaves you half naked in a swamp with a rope. You weren't trying to kill her or nothing, were you? I didn't just pick up a serial killer, did I?
No. The rope came from her brothers. They kind of tied me up and threw me into it was shallow, but in the swamp. Said stay away from her. My shirt got snagged on stuff. I was able to wiggle out of the rope. They stole my belt. It was like a $400 belt, man. I loved that belt. Anyways.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, was able to kind of rip some of the rope off, keep my pants up. But the shirt is, if you could drop me off by the beach, that's where my van is parked, and I'll go from there.
Yeah. Which beach? I've never been to Miami before.
Would it be easier if I drive? And
I don't know, man. It's my car. The rental agreement insurance only covers me.
1 second.
If you want to roll con to try and convince him.
I'm not rolling con, man.
You're not rolling con, okay.
I'm rolling command. Listen, man. You obviously don't know where you're going, and
I got GPS.
every time you look at me, you nearly swerve off the road. Now, I'm not going to say what I do for a living, but trust me, you don't want me to start acting in an official capacity. So, pull over to the side of the road, hand me the keys, I'll drive us to the beach, and I'll hand it back to you, because I have no intent of dying in this car, because you can't keep yourself on the road. Rolling command.
Your command roll.
I didn't botch, but my wild die was my highest die, and that was a 4. 10. Low moderate. I'll take it.
You convinced him. He rolled a 7.
Oh, good.
You don't want to say what your job is? What are you, like a Fed? You want to drive? I don't want to go to jail. Pulls over to the side of the road.
Okay, good. However, he probably has a better driving skill than I do.
Maybe.
All right, so I'm going to hop in.
Is that for an average human?
That's true. All right, I'm going to... it's a Lamborghini. It's a sports car.
It's still running.
Hopefully he put it in park at least. Did he put it in park? Because if he didn't...
Put it in neutral and put on the emergency brake. It's a standard.
Right. All right. Real Buse can't drive stick.
I knew that.
All right. So, once he secures the vehicle, I'll hop out and I'll go around. And I'll hop in, and I'm going to drive probably about 5 under the speed limit going back.
Okay. Give me a roll.
3. That would be in the very easy range.
I'm going to give it to you. I wasn't planning on giving it to you, but you're right. It's a very easy task to drive a car. I assume Char knows how to drive a stick.
I will assume so.
I'll tell you what. Roll 1 die, and if you don't get a 1 or a 2, you know how to drive a stick. Ah! You don't know how to drive a stick! You're not having a good time here. So, you're doing worse than him?
I'm assuming I'm
at
doing
a lower speed.
I don't know if I'd be doing worse.
You're doing as bad as him at a lower speed.
I understand, and this is where you argue with the GM. So, while I am probably not driving it as well, so it's probably going as I'm shifting.
Oh yeah, you're grinding the gears.
I'm grinding the gears as opposed to probably going off the road.
You're not really doing a great job.
You did say it was a rental.
Yeah, but I'd like to get back to Miami safely too, you know.
We'll be fine.
Oh, I don't want to go to jail.
You bought the extra insurance, right?
No, but my boss did.
Oh, what do you do for a living?
I don't work for the government.
Gotta say, the benefits are really good.
I reckon so.
Driving school is not one of those benefits.
Just get us there safely. This is going to be his car for the week.
I understand. And I also don't care.
That's nice of you. Thanks a lot. I pick you up from the woods.
Wait. Oh, I thought you were talking about the character saying it was going to be his car for the week.
The boss's car for a week.
Oh! I thought the GM was talking to me. I apologize. Oh well. I said what I said. I don't care. You were going off the road.
Can you at least try? Well, it's a rental. I don't really care if you grind the gears that much. Oh. All right. So, what do you want to? Do you want to finish this conversation? Anything else you want to ask this guy?
No, I'm planning on going straight towards the beach area.
All right.
Closest beach area.
Tell you what. You give me a luck roll. If you roll a 1 or a 2, let me know. You're kidding me!
Nope.
Alright. The gumballs appear on the side of the road that you had just passed in your side view mirror.
Wait, what?
Gumballs, of course.
Oh, gumballs.
Flashing lights turn on in the road behind you. Off to the side of the road. You didn't see the cop. It's dark outside now. And he pulls out behind you. Or whatever cops sound like these days. Man, you better pull over.
All right. I'm pulling over. All right. I am pulling over. Now, how long does it take for... Well, you know what? No matter what, I'm going to try it. I am going to turn into literally a human-sized rat sitting on the seat.
A human-sized rat.
Well, I don't have time to use my gross strength
like
powers.
A human-sized rat. Go for it. right. Nothing happens. 5 seconds later, the guy's going, this is going to suck for you.
All right, I'm going to try to use grow shrink and just shrink down the size.
Okay.
I have reasons for what I'm doing.
I believe you.
2.
2. I don't have the rules for that up. Give me 1 second. Oh, that's no good. Do 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 do. You have the rules up?
No, I can. I think I just realized I didn't have an extra 2 pips.
You go over the math again and you talk to me.
Climb jump is the normal skill. I did climb, which was the specialization. Isn't climbing jumping Isn't the normal skill climbing jumping?
Yeah, I didn't know there was a specialization.
Well, yeah, you could specialize in climbing or jumping. So that was a specialization, which means I should be able to bring it back up to 4D on auto repair.
I usually just write climb anyway instead of climb jump, so that's where the confusion comes from.
Understood. I just felt doing climb, jump, climb. But, okay. I'm trying to bring
I don't have rules down here on this version for how difficult it is.
You want to give me a second? I can get the binder.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, all of my peeps, I have not thrown away almost any of my gaming stuff since I started before I graduated high school.
I believe you. Force fields, telekinesis. Okay, I've got it. A very easy roll allows you to increase 1 scale level in a round. An easy roll allows you to grow 2 scale levels, etc.
So a round is 5 seconds.
A scale level is roughly 6 feet. Growing or shrinking takes up all 5 seconds of a combat round. Wow. What did you get? A 2? A 3?
A 2.
A 2? That's a very easy roll. You've shrunk yourself 6 feet.
I mean, yeah, like which would 6 feet would be to nothing. But all right, I am going for rat-sized man this time.
Okay, so the guy next to you has not. Hold on. Just at the end of your 5 seconds of shrinking, then he notices and goes, "What the?" and starts cussing up a blue streak.
And I am going to climb and hide under the seat.
Okay, you're not going to turn into a rat-sized man now? I mean, into a rat?
I want to get under the seat before the cop gets there, and I feel like it's unfortunately going to go bad for this guy.
Okay.
So, yeah. What do you want me to roll? I mean, I'm assuming sneak, but I don't know if you need a whatever. I'm just getting on the ground or not on the ground, but getting onto the floor and going under the seat.
Give me a jump roll.
I can do that.
Because you're jumping down. You are now a couple of inches tall.
Yeah, a couple of inches, jumping a couple inches. Yeah, 6 to 8 inches maybe.
It's to determine whether or not you
10.
take damage.
10.
What?
10.
All right. You're okay. And now you want to run under the seat?
Yep. And for my sneak roll, I got 9, 12, 15, 18.
All right. Remember that number, kids. 18. Nothing happens. The guy's still swearing up the blue streak. He's got his seatbelt on. He hasn't moved. I mean, he's gesticulating wildly, but he's like,
Yep.
Bill, bow, bow, Bill, Bill, bow. You're in a convertible. The cop can see him waving his arms around.
Yep, but I'm hoping the cop saw us pull over and, well,
So hold on. I'm telling you what happens. Do you just want to stay there and wait for the cop, or do you want to do something else?
oh, once I'm under there.
Yeah.
So this is an important question
Okay.
because we're not in the Marvel universe,
No. You've never heard of a superhero before.
and I do not
He's
have,
like,
and I do not have unstable molecule clothing.
nope.
So my paint.
Oh, I should have made you. All right. I'm making a ruling here.
Clothes shrink with you.
To keep this game PG or PG-13, clothes shrink with you.
Perfect. Okay. So
Stuff on you shrinks with you.
What
Up
was-
to a point. And we're not going to determine the point right now. We're going to keep going.
nope, that's fine.
Yeah.
What I was doing would depend upon what happened. So
All right. So your clothes stay with you.
good. All right. Now I am once again going to attempt to change shape while the cop is coming up there. But this time I'm going to try to just change myself into a box under the seat.
A box.
Just a box. Doesn't have to be open or anything, just a rectangle.
And other rules. The ability to change shape. The ability to shift into non-human forms. An easy roll is required to change shape. The higher the roll, the longer they can stay in their shifted form. This includes animals and inanimate objects. The shape you shift into must be roughly the same mass as the character. The character cannot change scale level without taking grow shrink. Changing shape does not give bonuses to strength, durability, or healing.
Yep.
I might change that, but that works for me. So an easy roll is required to change shape.
Yep, I know.
It is 5 to 10, roughly. So very easy is 1 to 5, then 5 to 10 for easy, 11 to 15 for moderate.
I'd used a character point and I got a 10.
You use the character point. You are a box. Cardboard, I assume?
I wasn't thinking that far. I was just thinking a box. So,
Well, you got a 10. What kind of box do you want to be?
wooden box.
A wooden box. All right. So, minutes go by. Lights are flashing, the siren's going. That's all you know. The guy has shut up. He might be muttering under his breath, but you can't tell. Eventually, and it seems like an eternity to you because you're waiting, but and whatever passes through your heart is going at a mile a minute right now. Because I don't think you technically have a heart right now. So you hear the footsteps of the cop approaching. You hear the siren turn off. You can still see glimpses of the light somehow, even though you don't have eyes, of the flashing lights. And you hear the cop step over, and you see a flashlight on the outer edges of the seat, on the front of the seat.
As expected.
And the cop just looks at the guy and says, "What the flaming hamster was that?" He didn't say flaming hamster, but trying to keep this PG. And the guy just looks at him and goes, "I have no idea. License and registration." Sure. You don't know what's going on, but you hear, the paperwork, handed it to him. This is a rental? Yeah. Stay right here. Don't disappear. I don't know how to disappear. Just stay here. You hear the footsteps walking away. It's about, I don't know, a minute goes by. Tell me if you want to do anything. 2 minutes go by.
Before any time passes.
But the cop is still there.
Oh, yeah, the cop's behind us, though. I heard him walk away, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're jumping in when he walks away, but before the minutes start going by. Okay.
Yeah, so probably like roughly 10 seconds after maybe 30 seconds after I hear the footsteps stop.
You'd hear the door open and close. I guess you're waiting for that?
Yeah.
All right.
Can I talk in my box form? I'm thinking Plastic Man here, but...
Yes.
Are you doing okay?
You don't hear anything for a second beyond that, and then you hear the seatbelt retract and the door open and shut and footsteps running. You want to do anything else?
I take that as a no.
You're just sitting there in box form.
I'm just sitting there in box form.
All right. You hear more footsteps now coming up from behind you. And after that, you don't hear anything, but the lights are still flashing behind you for quite a while. You want to do anything during that time period?
Give me 1 second.
Oh, by the way, the car is off at this point. I assume you turned the vehicle off when you pulled over?
Actually, I would have just... Yeah, I probably would have turned the vehicle off. Yeah.
All right. What, are you reading the rules? He's reading the rules, people.
It was just plastic body. That plastic body requires a little bit more calculation. So, no, I am not doing anything. I'm going to take the risk and just sit it out.
Okay. You don't hear what's going on. Or you can roll perception. If you get a heroic roll, I'll let you know what's going on.
Okay. I doubt I will, but I'm going to give it a shot.
So, maybe not even heroic, high, heavy difficult. You're aiming for a 30.
Okay.
Now, I don't normally tell him what he's aiming for, but this is a weird circumstance.
And also, he just wants to know that there's a good chance I won't make it, which I didn't. Although, got an 18, which, under normal circumstances, I'd be happy with.
Yeah, that's a difficult roll. That's a good roll. But you don't hear much. You hear muffled sounds. You can't see anything outside of the flat light still flashing. And he had turned the sirens off already. So, you don't know what's going on. Time is ticking by. You want to do anything, or do you just want to let it tick by?
I want to let it tick by.
All right.
I'm a box.
You're a box. Be the box. All right. So, you hear footsteps, 2 sets of footsteps, coming back towards the car. And then they go past the car. You can kind of tell, like you hear them, like, what is that called? The Doppler effect, where, you hear the sound coming towards you is different than hearing a sound coming away from you. It's very muffled being under a seat in a car, but you're in a convertible, so it's open air. The car's not running right now.
Yep, and I think I know what's coming next.
What?
And I feel like I know what's coming next.
Okay. You hear a door open, and a guy, and some movement, and then the door shut. And then you hear you hear another set of footprints come up to the car, turn the key, and take it out of the ignition completely. The door opens. You see a foot get into the... You can stop me at any time if you want to do anything here.
No, I understand.
All right. You see a foot get into the seat, not the seat, the footwell. Then you see the seat cushion decompress on top of you. It's starting to touch you, but you're not rolling for damage or anything like that.
Michael, what are you doing? And I'm going to do a con to do my best William Daniels voice.
Who's William Daniels?
The voice of Kit and Mr. Feeney.
Oh. All right, do the impression too.
Michael, what are you doing?
Can you do Michael?
Yes.
Give me the con roll.
11, 14, 15.
Actually, this guy's a cop. Uh-oh. What was it?
15.
Yeah. He's like, son of a bitch, set up some kind of robot voice in here. You hear the brake
Language.
come up. Yeah, very funny. What is this, a two-way radio?
Put the emergency brake down, Michael.
You got a camera in here or something? This is not funny.
Michael.
And whoever this is, we're going to find you.
You're not Michael, are you? Can you do me
very funny.
I am the Night Industries 2000. Please proceed to step out of my vehicle.
You know, I thought I was just impounding a car. Now I have to search it.
Oh, no. Is this Garth? Is this why I thought it was Michael? Are you Garth?
There's got to be some kind of bone or something in here. Son of a... all these druggies. You don't hear anything else except the emergency brake is going on. He gets out of the car. You hear the door opens. You see the feet move away out of your view. You feel the seat come up. Then you see the flashlight click on again. Well, you see light hitting the footwell. And then it gets brighter. And then it's less bright. And then you don't see the flashlight for a while. You can say anything you want during this time or do anything you want.
I'm waiting.
And then, after a minute or so of this, then you see light from behind the seat in the back footwell. And then you see the flashlight first, and it's just blinding you, pointing directly under the seat. You don't see anything, but you start feeling a hand come and take you and start pulling you out from under the seat, unless you do something.
Nope, that's fine.
All right. Takes it out, looks at it, looks at you. You can see him looking at you.
There's no speaker hole, so...
What?
So there's no speaker hole, so...
Yeah. And tosses you onto the passenger seat.
Okay.
He keeps looking through the car. Got anything else to say, jackass? Jerk face?
While I detect the flashlight being away from me, I'm gonna try to shrink down a bit smaller. Not changing shape, just shrinking down smaller.
All right, so shrink. You want to go beyond a few inches.
Yep.
Shift appearance, grow, shrink. Decrease your size and mass to a new scale level with the appropriate increases and decreases to damage. Scale level is roughly 6 feet. All right. An easy roll allows you to grow 2 scale levels. A very easy roll allows you to grow 1 scale level. Go for it.
5.
Okay. How small do you want to be?
Well, so I assumed originally I was roughly...
I was thinking about 4 or 5 inches.
Okay.
Three.
I want to shrink down to a 1x1 cube.
All right. Done.
Okay.
You are now a 1x1 cube.
All right. Still wooden.
Okay. Well, you're not changing shape. You're just using grow shrink.
That's true, yes.
You want to do anything else?
Nope.
All right. You see the flashlight moving around? This is not helping for people listening on audio, me doing the physical movement of moving a flashlight. See the flashlight moving around, he can't find anything. He sees the box that's now shrunk, and he goes, "What the flying monkeys?" He grabs the box.
Mm-hmm.
He puts it in his pocket.
Okay.
And he starts writing out. You wouldn't be able to see that. He's standing next to the car for a bit. Anything else? Anything else at all?
I have a question for you as the GM.
Okay.
Is there anything else in his pocket?
His keys. His keys, not his patrol keys, and I'll tell you what. Give me a luck roll. If it's 1 through 3, there is a knife. If it's 4, 5, 6, there is no knife. Like a folding knife.
5. So no knife.
All right. Just his keys.
All right. This is going to probably be 2 different power rolls, but I'm inside his pocket. Is it possible, again, because with the combination of powers, I want to wrap myself around his keys, and I realize I will also have to grow a bit, because I'll need to grow to be 2 to 3 inches, roughly. But whatever. I mean, I was a box before, so not a... But you know what I mean.
Okay. So you just want to wrap yourself around his keys?
I want to kind of absorb his keys so that when he goes to reach in there, all he feels is the box. Or all that's in his pocket is the box, and I'm wrapped around the
Same
key.
size you were before?
Well, I might be a little too small to wrap around the keys, so I might have to grow a tiny bit, but roughly.
Right. So that's 2 rolls. So
I know, two separate actions, roughly 10 seconds, I assume.
he's going to start feeling that very quickly.
All right, then I'm just going to wrap the box around the keys.
All right. So that's 1 roll.
Plastic body, I assume?
Yeah. Either that or, yeah, plastic body.
3.
Shift appearance, shift shape, change shape, plastic body.
It's kind of hard combining with grow shrink to keep the... But I figure with what I'm doing, I'm not going that far. I'm just wrapping myself around something. I'm not trying to extend myself too far. I'm just wrapping around it. One of us should have tried this power years ago.
I thought you already tried it with... Yeah, one of us should have done it. I'll give it to you. You wrap yourself with your... You're not wooden anymore.
Yep.
And you wrap yourself around the keys successfully.
Okay. I'm assuming he's going to respond. Yep.
He goes, "What the?" And he reaches into his pocket, rips you out of there. And what does he see, basically? Are any of the keys sticking out? What's going on?
I would assume, I don't have keys, but I would assume it would be something akin to this, where the box is just around the keys. Now, there might be some sticking out, because I'm trying to do it as quick as possible. If I could aim, I would have aimed for his car key, but I didn't say that, so whatever key was the most easily accessible for me to wrap around.
All right. Just as a GM ruling here, now that you've shrunk down, you don't have access and change shape. Mm-hmm. You don't have access to the stuff you had before.
That's fair. Does it disappear, or does it come back when I go back to normal?
It will come back to you when you come back to your normal human shape.
Fair enough.
All right. You succeed. He pulls that out, looks at it, and tosses it across the road.
Keys and all?
The whole is one thing now.
All right. So resisting damage, I assume.
Yeah, you're 2 scale levels down, so that'd be...
Well, that's on your side.
I know.
And yes, I'm very odd. There's a reason I do what I do.
I'm not discounting that. So just give me a 2D damage resist roll.
Oh, good. I'll re-roll.
What did you roll? 1?
Let's just say there was a 1 involved on a certain die, but if I'm having to re-roll...
I mean, how many die? Yeah, you gotta roll 2 die. Because your normal resistance is at 6.
I rolled higher this time with 2 die.
What did you roll before?
Before I rolled a...
Did you think it was just strength?
Oh, yeah, I was doing strength plus plastic body.
Yeah, alright.
But if I'm rolling 2D now, I got a 17.
You're fine.
By the way, this is the importance of the wild die, by the way. This is the reason why it makes everything interesting.
If you would like to, at home, do a little bit of calculating here, you can't roll higher than a 12 on a normal 2-die roll. You rolled a 17, so...
And my non-wild die was a 1.
Wow. Because it just says go up a scale level, so I should be increasing the amount of damage being done to you rather than changing the number of dice you roll, but that's just a pain, so we're going to fudge it this time.
Yep.
You're fine. You're absolutely fine. You're sitting inanimate, at the moment anyway.
Do I detect any lights on me?
On the road. You're about to. You hear the cop freaking out. He's screaming and cussing and waving the flashlight around and everything. You hear him talk about alien. Was that an alien? What the hell? What is going on here? And then, after a couple of, probably say about 15 seconds of this. So while he's yelling and screaming, not going to do anything.
I was about to say something. Yeah, I was about to say something.
Okay.
I'm going to try to turn myself into a puddle of goo.
Change shape. Mm-hmm. An easy roll is required to change shape. Go for it. Gotta beat a 5.
This is kind of important so I don't get arrested.
And how many character points have you used so far?
2. I have a 6.
You are goo.
Which I assume should make it easier for me to have the keys inside of my body of goo.
What kind of goo are you? Are you water goo? Are you like slime from You Can't Do That on Television goo?
I'm thinking more like kind of like a cross between like Play-Doh and slime, about the middle between those two consistencies.
All right. You hear him cussing and screaming and freaking out and talking about aliens. First he disappears. Now a human being disappears. I'm glad I'm getting all this on camera. A box shrinks and a voice out of nowhere is talking to me. This is crazy. Nobody is going to believe this. I'm so glad I have my body cam.
Oh, good. I'm going to now use plastic body.
Yeah.
To start stretching and just pulling myself across the ground towards the woods.
With the keys?
Yes.
All right. Give me a plastic body roll.
Yeah, I would think that... I mean, I'm just moving. I wouldn't think it'd be too bad. I'm not trying to, like, stretch, like, the furthest, but... 5.
All right, you're moving at a very slow speed. The keys are very heavy. Give me a strength roll. Or stamina roll, technically.
Yeah, same either way. 7.
It's not going easy and it's not going fast.
That's fine.
But you are slowly moving. What direction are you moving in relation to the car and the cop?
Away from them. If assuming I'm on dirt.
You're not.
Oh,
You're on.
I mean, if I have a rough idea of where I'm heading. I mean, I'm heading away from the vehicles. If I have a rough idea of where I'm heading, I'm trying to head back towards the wilds.
You're pretty much on the white line in the middle of the road, or yellow line in the middle of the road.
No.
It's a 2-lane road. You're on asphalt. Do you want to go towards the car or away from the car? Do you want to go, because you're trying to get off the road at this point?
Yeah, I want to go away from the car.
Okay, so you're going to the, let's say, southbound side of the road. You're on the northbound side of the road.
Correct.
Could be east-west. We're just picking in this particular point. So you're going southbound. So you're basically going west.
Correct.
All right. You're not moving very fast.
I understand. I am small, and I'm a puddle.
Okay. His cruiser's still running, by the way. These are not his police cars. They're his personal keys.
I mean, my character has no way of knowing that.
Except you know that the car's running.
That is true.
All right.
But... oh, well.
And I mentioned earlier that the cruiser was still running. The lights are still going. The siren is off. He eventually starts looking with his flashlight to where the keys were.
If I start seeing that, I'm going to try to slow down. I know there's a lot of modifiers against me, but I'm going to roll sneak.
Okay.
But I am smaller, which will help me.
That is true. Plastic body, no. Change shape, no. Grow shrink. An easy roll, lousy, blah, 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 blah. Growing or shrinking takes up 5 seconds. Combat roll. Okay, so you're 2 scale sizes smaller, so you can add 4D to your sneak roll at the negative 1D penalty for multiple actions.
Okay.
Basically, you're rolling stamina every turn.
That's fair.
Because think of it like you're carrying a body. The equivalent thereof. You've got somebody in a fireman's carry over your shoulders, equivalently. That's the best I can think of. Lift. It would probably be a lifting roll.
25.
For sneak?
Yeah. With the plus 3D, since I'm at negative 1D to it.
I'm going to give him a negative modifier for it being at night and whatnot.
Fair enough.
You added in the 4D modifier already?
3D because negative 1D for multiple actions, but yes.
And what did you get?
25.
He doesn't see you. He's standing there. Where did those keys go? Where'd that thing go? Dispatch, I'm going to need backup. Copy, you're going to need backup at the traffic stop? Yeah, I'm going to need backup at the traffic stop. What's the situation?
It is taking everything I have right now not to say something.
I'm going to need backup and probably a supervisor. Are you in trouble? I am not in danger. Copy that. Backup's en route.
That's fine.
He's continuing to look for you.
I'm continuing to climb away. Let me know when I hit dirt or at the side of the road or a ledge or whatever.
All right, give me one more sneak roll. Same modifier.
32.
That's almost heroic.
I
He
know.
does not find you, and you make it to the edge of the. You make it to the dirt. It's just asphalt coming onto dirt.
Okay, so slight lip going down, I'm assuming.
Yeah, roughly. There's a guardrail above you, but yeah. He's not even looking in your direction now. He's still walking up and down the middle of the road, roughly where he threw the keys to.
Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is...
Oh man, I need those keys. How am I going to get home? How am I going to get into my home? Aliens, man. No one is going to believe this.
Alright, so this is... What skill would I use to throw my voice? I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be under perception.
Gotta be con, right?
Yeah.
I would make it... I don't know much about ventriloquism. I would make it a specialization under con.
Okay. So I'm assuming if I stop moving, I should be able to not have the negative modifiers, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop moving. I'm going to straighten myself out as much as possible to be as far against the lip as possible. And then I'm going to say this. First, I'm going to make my roll. Well, that stinks, but I'm going to go with it. I got a 9. Michael, if you leave the vehicle here with the keys and go away, I will just drive off.
Moderate's 10, right? 10 or 11?
Yep. Which will put it 1 to 2 above what I rolled.
This is brand new territory.
Yeah.
You're very small. He's quite far away.
Very small, quite far away. I'm over the edge of a lip because I'm able to stretch out because I'm liquid. However, goo. However you want to do it, though.
Top looks up. You can see him. He looks up, puts his flashlight towards the car. Says, now I'm hearing things. And continues walking. Where am I? I gotta get those keys back. Boy, I can't believe I lost my keys.
I'm going to try one more attempt.
It disappears in my car that I stopped, and nobody's gonna. I'm so glad I got footage of all of this.
I'm going to try one more time. Okay, that's a bit better. 16. Michael.
Hold on.
Nope, sorry.
Go ahead.
Michael, or should I say Garth, that was a holographic representation of me that you saw. I am simply asking for you to let me drive away, but I need my keys.
He does not react. He is muttering to himself still, and his radio goes off at the same time, and when an unrelated thing. He does not appear to hear you.
I understand. I'm going to start moving. I'm going to continue moving away, so moving northbound on the southbound side.
Yeah.
Let me know if I hear him start to talk over the radio again.
You don't.
That's fine. Then I'm just going to keep moving as slow as possible up the road.
You mean as sneakily as possible?
Well, that too.
Give me one more sneak roll.
29.
No reaction from him. He's still looking for his keys.
Fair enough.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna keep.
You're currently goop.
I'm gonna keep. The goop is gonna keep moving along.
You want to stop? He didn't find you.
I'm going to probably stop once I feel like, and how I feel, you can decide. Whether I'm right or not, it's a completely different story. But when I feel like I'm probably a quarter mile away, I know that's a long way of traveling.
Yeah, especially when you're that small. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
You actually can see 2 more cop cars show up one at a time over the course of minutes. They didn't get there in 5 seconds or anything. We're saying maybe 10, 15 minutes later, because you're outside of town. Another car, 1 more car shows up, and you're far enough away that you can't hear them talking, but you can see the 2 cops are standing there and gesticulating wildly. You're probably about 200 feet away at this point. And then the other one breaks out his flashlight, and they start looking around, same areas. And probably another 10 minutes later, another car that's not a SUV. Still thinking of USB. So the SUV pulls up behind them. He gets out, or she gets out, and now you're about 300 feet away. You're just not moving all that fast.
Okay.
And
if I'm 300 feet away, that's far enough for me to attempt what I plan on doing. I'm gonna try to. Okay, well out of sight range. I'm going to try to turn into a. Wait, what?
You can see 300 feet easy.
Okay.
In the darkness, they'll have a hard time.
Yes, and especially my size.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to see them because of the lights than them to see me.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to turn myself actually into a cat.
Okay. It's going to be a series of rolls.
Probably
1 grow shrink and 1 shape change.
Yep.
I assume you don't want to do them both at the same time.
No. I'm going to go with the shape change first.
Okay.
So I'll be a very tiny cat. Hopefully.
1-inch cat. Got it.
And fail. I got a 2.
I'm going to tell you what. No matter how long it takes you, if you continue to try, you're going to be able to succeed at this outside of combat.
That's kind of what I assumed.
Okay. So, I don't need to know how many fails it took you. Eventually you succeed.
Yep.
Alright.
So
you're now a regular-sized cat. What color are you?
I'm gonna go with gray.
Okay. You're a gray cat.
And I'm holding the keys in my mouth.
Fair enough.
And I'm just gonna start padding down the road further. I should move at least at a slightly faster rate now.
Move at a much faster rate. Give me a stamina roll.
Okay. $11.
You're tired.
I've been doing a lot of changing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can get back to the beach or to town, but that's about all that you got left in you.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. You get back to town. You're at the edge of Miami. You're near a beach.
I'm gonna try to... is it still night?
Yeah.
Long story short, I'm gonna find a place with some shelter, overhang, stay in cat form, and kind of just curl up, sleep until morning.
Give me a search roll, I guess.
That's perception.
100%.
20.
20. You get lucky at weird places, but that's okay.
I have 4D perception.
I'm not disagreeing with you. That's still 4 times 5 is 20, so an average of
Valid
5
point.
per day. That's a good roll. You easily find a place for a cat to shelter at. I assume you're going to sleep on top of the keys.
Yes.
Don't know why you want these keys, but more power to you. Okay. Give me a luck roll. If you get a 1, let me know.
Those words always scare me. 5.
Nothing disturbs you throughout the night. You wake up and you're hungry, but you're not tired anymore.
Excellent. All right. I am going to look around, and if there's a good amount of people around, I want to find a spot where I feel safe enough to change and grow.
Give me a search roll, or a perception roll, spot check. Did we use spot with this?
14.
Give me a check.
14. Perception check.
All right. You find there's you said 14?
Mm-hmm.
There's a bathroom with a door that's open, and it's just one of those beach bathrooms where it's not much more than a place to change. There's more changing stations, and there are stalls in it, but the door's either open or there's no door on it, so you can get into it.
Okay. I'm going to go in there. Anybody in there?
There's a couple of people, but there's plenty of open stalls.
I'm going to run underneath the open stall. Kind of jump up onto the toilet seat.
Okay.
And is the door closed? Or at least partially closed?
Sure.
Okay.
Partially.
All right. Trying to decide which would be less freaky. Okay, I'm gonna change into human form first.
Okay.
Two.
First, give me a luck roll. And don't get a 1.
4.
Okay. So you got a 2.
Yeah.
You're starting to change. That's shapeshift, right? What is it?
Yep, shapeshift.
Shift appearance. Change shape. An easy roll is required to change shape. You're about halfway there.
Okay. Got another 2.
That brings it to a total of 6. You're closer. You're like in mid-transformation for a werewolf.
3.
That's enough. You're human. You're a tiny human.
Okay. Now I'm going to try to grow.
All right. Rogue shrink.
2.
A very easy roll allows you to increase 1 scale level in a round. Boom. You are now 6 foot. Or whatever height you were before. Which usually doesn't matter, but boy, it does with this game.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm going to come out of the stall. Kind of keep my face kind of meh. And walk outside. And the entire purpose of coming to the beach, I'm looking for somebody who's selling random cheap t-shirts on the side of the beach. Because they're always there.
Give me a knowledge roll.
Six.
Okay, you had to beat a 5. You left the keys where you slept that night. You remember that.
Fair enough. I'll walk back there, see if they're still there.
They are.
I'm going to grab them and...
Put them in your pocket.
Yes.
What?
Well, actually, before I put them in my pocket, I want to take a look at them. And the reason I'm asking is because I want to know, is he a neat man? Or is he somewhat cluttered? And what I mean is this. Does he have, like, a bunch of, like, tags from, like, you know, Subway, the gym, whatever, attached to his keys? Or is it just, like, you know, a car keys and a house key? Any identifying information on it? Again, various people have different things on their keys. I've seen people...
Give me a luck roll. And what do you want? Information about the keys?
Kind of. I mean, it all depends. Like... You know, I've seen people put luggage tags on their keys, which I think is stupid.
So if it's a 1 or a 2, then let me tell you what it is before you roll it. If it's a 1 or a 2, it's just his house key, a couple of unidentified keys, and a couple of vehicle keys.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a 3 or a 4, then he's got like a scan card for whatever, a couple of BJ's or whatever is down in Florida. I don't know.
Yeah.
So he's got a couple of those tags on there. And maybe he's got a tag like you would get at a mechanic shop attached to the car key that says what kind of key it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a 5 or a 6...
It was a 3.
What?
I had rolled before you said it, but it was a 3.
It doesn't count. Roll again. I'm not done describing it yet.
Oh, okay.
Don't roll it. Wait till I finish describing it.
Yes, sir.
5 or 6, he's got a USB attached to it.
Okay, fair enough. One.
It's just the keys.
Okay. No identifying marks on any of the keys, just...
1 or 2, no. If you'd gotten a 5 or a 6, you would have had that USB.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. If you'd been in his back pocket, you would have had his wallet.
I wouldn't have taken his wallet. I was stupid because I didn't think about the car, but once I grabbed those keys, I just went for it. All right, then I'm going to go look for a place that sells the cheapest t-shirts. I don't even care if it's a tank top, just something besides just... I look fairly conspicuous. Not because of the no shirt. And not even because I probably smell like a swamp. But because I'm wearing a rope dangled over me.
You can get rid of the rope. I'm not making you keep the rope.
It's one of the few possessions I have at this point.
Okay. Give me a spot check. Or a search roll. Same thing for you.
Yep. And 14.
14. All right. You see a couple of different shops selling T-shirts. They're up a bit on the boardwalk. They're not next to each other, and you're pretty sure they're like touristy places.
That actually feels too expensive.
Well, you're on the beach in Miami.
Nah, I know. I was trying to avoid theft, but I'm gonna start walking along the beach, and I'm gonna make.
Say 9 o'clock in the morning. So what's going on?
I will walk down the beach pretty much as long as I have to. I know I'm getting hungry, and I know that might require a stamina roll or something at some point. But I'm gonna.
This is selling stuff, by the way.
I know, but I have $30.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So I'm gonna kind of just walk up and down the beach, and I'm going to look for what appears to be someone sleeping. Because you know how people fall asleep while they're sunbathing and stuff?
All right. Give me a search check.
Ugh. 9.
9. Give me a luck roll.
3.
All right. Now give me an odds or evens roll. Odds is female, evens is male.
Odds.
You see a woman
Mm-hmm.
who is wearing, she's lying on a towel. She is snoring loudly.
Mm-hmm.
She is sunbathing, and her bikini strap is off. There's a book next to her. She's wearing one of the big floppy sun hats. and she's snoring loudly, face down, on the beach. And she has a cooler next to her and one of them big canvas purse bag things. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna roll my sneak to. I don't know if you want me to do a dual roll with sneak and con, because I want to sneak, but I don't want to draw attention to myself while I'm trying to sneak up to her.
Sneak is fine. You're just walking quietly on the beach. You're probably getting some modifiers for an easy roll because sand doesn't make a lot of noise. Unless you're running.
I got a 24, but a 1 on the wild.
Highest and lowest, take them away.
17.
All right. You come up to her. She continues to snore. Which side are you coming on? On the side that has the nothing, or the side that has the bag and the cooler?
The bag and the cooler, just so I can. I'm not going to reach for it, but if it's a canvas open top bag, I just am going to, like, move my head down to try to take a quick glance in there to see if I see any other type of fabric outside the canvas of the bag in there.
There's another towel in there and what looks like her shirt and pants, and probably more stuff underneath it. Give me a luck roll. If it's a 6, she's a big woman.
It is not.
Well,
I got a 3.
give me one more. If it's more than a 3, you think her shirt would fit you.
5.
You think her shirt would fit you.
I am going to just make one quick grab attempt. I'm going to start, pretty much, I'm going to look down, make a quick grab attempt. In my mind, if I make it, great. If I don't, I just keep walking. Because, again, trying to not draw attention. I don't know what pickpocket or whatever would be in this. Is this
under dexterity?
Oh, right, it is. All right, so dex roll.
Yeah.
$20.
You got the shirt, and you now see that her wallet is underneath that, along with her cell phone, a charger, and some other stuff, possibly food.
Give me a second. I'm making a personal willpower roll. He doesn't like stealing, but close, but I just keep going. Like I said, I snatch that and just keep going.
All right, you got a shirt that fits you. Give me a luck roll. If it's a 1, it's a gaudy tourist shirt. If it's a 6, it's just a plain white T-shirt.
If it's a gaudy shirt, I really want it.
Single color T-shirt. I'll let you pick the color.
If it's a gaudy shirt, I want it to be one of those really touristy, like, woman wearing a bikini shirt, like, drawn down.
Go on.
I got a 6.
Right, it's a single color shirt, and it fits for okay.
Perfect. I'm gonna move.
Right.
I'm gonna move the rope just so it's like dangling over my arm, so it doesn't look as. I might regret this. You know what? Actually, as I'm walking, I'm just gonna drop the rope.
Okay.
And rope.
He's updating his character sheet.
Yes, rope is gone. All right.
All right.
How far away am I from where I remember parking the motorcycle? Actually, I'm assuming I parked the motorcycle at the spot because I would have driven out there.
Did you leave it in the bank lot? I assume that's where the meeting was.
I wouldn't have left it in the bank lot, but a close by business would make more sense, because if they saw someone...
So just outside of the street?
Yeah, on the side of the street or supermarket next door or anything like that.
Alright. Give me a luck roll. If it's 1, it's gone.
It's gone!
I can't hear you.
It's gone.
It's gone. Oh.
Oh, Bob's not going to be happy with me. Current year, right?
Yeah, it's 2023. Biden is president. Ukraine and Russia are still at war. China is hurting financially. I don't know. What do you want to know? England has a new king.
Understood. Okay. Well,
Still arguing over the debt limit.
Miami have buses?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot at this. I'm gonna get on a bus and try to get as close as I can towards actually, supermarkets around?
You probably know where. Give me a knowledge roll.
Yeah, 5.
Navigate.
Oh, I did 5, but I should have rolled full knowledge.
Roll 3 dice.
8.
That's good enough. You know roughly where there'd be like, I don't know what it is down there, Kroger's or whatever.
Yeah,
or a Walmart.
Realistically,
yeah,
I'm going to buy like a box of granola bars, like 6 granola bars or something like that, so I can stuff them all in my pockets and have something.
You find it, and there's granola bars there. It's going to cost you, say, $4.
Cool. That gives me food, and I'm assuming there still should be like water fountains around, and I'll be using those. I've seen water fountains at beach before, and
I guess, yeah.
And
yeah,
if all else fails, bathrooms, and I will cup
There's
water.
A shower on the beach.
Yeah,
It's Florida.
I've got water.
What?
I've got water. Food and water.
Okay, you've got food and water. You can take a shower if you want to. No soap, but...
Yeah, close enough. And actually, I will do that to the best of my ability. Actually, I will go into the bathroom, get a handful of liquid soap, and then take that and take the best shower I can, and let
my... take off your pants?
They kind of need to get washed, too.
All right. So you're naked in public. Got it.
Oh, no. I'm keeping them on. I'm just washing them on my body.
So you're taking a shower in public with all your clothes on?
I'll take the shirt off.
Okay.
Because I've seen, I mean, it's actually completely normal to do. Some people, if people go swimming in their pants, I've seen this. People go swimming in their pants. They just rinse off after.
I'm going to give you a modified luck roll. Roll 2 dice. If you get a 1 on the wild die, tell me what the total is. Otherwise, don't bother.
Okay, I won't bother.
You didn't get a 1 on the wild die?
I did not. I got a 2.
Good enough. So it's not weird enough that anyone reports you to the police.
That would be odd if they reported me. Oh, right. Hence the luck.
Pryerson.
Valid point.
All right. So you've got your food, you've got your water. You know roughly where you are.
I'm going to walk around hot floor today, wait until I dry off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to try to get on a bus and get closer to go towards Bob.
What's bus fare nowadays? $2, $3?
I have no clue. I haven't ridden a bus since college. That's a lie, but...
Bus fare in Miami, $2.25 each way. Let's round it up to 2 so we don't have to deal with fractions.
Okay, sounds good. And I will take a bus to start going towards Bob's.
All right. So you're going to Bob's. Hold on. Nothing exciting happens on the bus. There's people on there, but I'm not going to bother unless you desperately want to have a random interaction with a random person.
Nope. My goal is to be as on the down low as possible.
Okay. So you get to Bob's.
Okay. I'm not going to directly walk there. I'm going to kind of look around for a bit. Does his wife know Bob was in contact with me?
Yeah, you were staying at their house. You were staying in the, let's say, shed. He lives in not Coral Gables, that's a rich neighborhood, but I think, been a while since I've looked over. A buddy of mine used to be big into Miami real estate, looking at the ridiculous mansions they have there. I don't know if you've ever done that.
Nah, I just kept it with CSI Miami.
Okay, so you're in a residential kind of like the kind of neighborhood that Michael Weston's mother lives at.
Okay.
That kind of. You were staying in the garage, let's say.
Perfect. All right, then. Did I have keys to the garage? I'm assuming to get in there. Because if I did,
yes.
Okay, then they should still be on the motorcycle keyring.
Yeah, you have 2 keys on that keyring.
All right, I'm gonna go into the garage, and if there's a security thing I'm supposed to undo, I'll undo that first. Because I'd assume I'd have the code.
No problem getting into the garage. And we should probably stop there.
Yes. I have one question.
Yeah.
Is the motorcycle in the garage? Because I'm hoping it was towed.
Give me a luck roll. Why would they know it's not registered?
Oh.
And if you hit a 6 on the wild die, it's there.
It's there! Alright, we can end now.
That's where we're going to end for today. We went an hour over, so this could be 2 videos.
What? Yes. See you, truckers.
That's okay. I told you. We're geeks. Esoteric geeks.